Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Also, hello, everyone on stream. Let's see. Let's make sure the Twitch is actually recording. Yeah. I think I am running this whole shebang here today. So, welcome to Nerdentity Crisis, your weekly nerdy podcast where we talk video games, news, board games, pretty dark trivia, and Genshin Impact. Uh, I'm your host for today, for some reason, Lieutenant Commander Josh Huffman. With me, I have Head of Security and Partying, Justin Pickvance. Uh, Pink lemonade, so fucking good. We have our chief chef extraordinaire and captain of the mess hall, Adam Lovar. No, only one of us is allowed to party. And captain of the USS Nerdentity, Ryan By. Uh, mm-hmm. I'm realizing a couple of issues. I forgot to invite the recording bot. So that entire intro is worthless. Yeah, let me see. You could just pull it from Twitch. Whatever. First time. We're not. None of us are very good our first time. Let's be honest. Uh, uh, how's everyone doing this fine evening? Hmm. I I didn't spend like 12 hours in a bakery, so I feel like yes. Feel like yes. See, I like baking as a hobby, but being forced to do it for my livelihood, I don't know if that's like the same caliber, you know. Uh, yeah. If there's like a, I'm down a barrel, then I'll bake the shit out of some bread and some sugar cookies or whatever. Or probably Thanksgiving, where like dinner rolls. Probably it's like dinner rolls galore for the next month. Um, hmm, like Christmas trees and shit. Especially because frosted cookies are garbage. Frosting is just so gross, so gross. Also, the reason people pay for it is because they are wildly lazy. Um, like, I don't buy a baked good because it's better. Because I can make really good, cupcakes or brownies or whatever. But it, I don't have to do any of that. That's the reason, you know. That's why I would be willing to bet that y'all don't use like the best ingredients physically possible. When I bake something, I'm buying like the expensive bread flours, like the most expensive like chocolate. You know, I'm buying the best of the best for everything because I only bake like twice a year. So, yeah. Yeah. The word Hershey's, you lost me. But anyhow, besides talking we'll actually we'll get into that a little bit later, but most Hershey's things can't even be called chocolate in the US. It is a chocolate flavored product. Um, but I love cheese flavored products like crap singles. So, you know, whatever. Uh, it's flavored like Mexicans. Uh, I have always heard it referred to as a uh, X-Lax. It is X-Lax flavored food. Um, but anywho, let's move on as we always do to a question from Jacob. Hi, Jacob. Say werewolves existed. Okay, werewolves existed. Boom. Uh, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna just you know wing this here. So, how much would that your life change? See, but I'm the captain now. Like, could should I just like go full chaos? I don't know if you guys noticed, but that's the name on Twitch. Look at me. I'm the captain now. Uh uh okay, Adam, as tradition dictates, you're a resident foodie. Uh let's talk about werewolves. Uh, is there a company actively making silver bullets? Because you would think that there's like some fringe, like Venn diagram of like people who actually still believe that werewolves exist and are willing to spend. Well, no, and I mean, but I'm curious, like if there's like a brand that's like marketed towards the werewolf aficionado, you know? Damn it, damn it. Um, I kind of want one now, and then I'm gonna get like engraved like little crosses. You know that way I can kill some vampires too. Just exactly cover the gambit. Yeah, it's like a musket balls. Yeah, I mean in the middle of winter it's like night at 4:30 p.m. So might be hard like driving home. Watch out for werewolves on the highway. Um, how about you, Justin? No. Yeah. Let's let's see if the mixer is fucked. I just turned on the audio on the stream, and yeah, I can hear me, but I can't hear y'all, which means that Streamlabs is fucked. Let's
Bad.
See. Let's see. Does this work? Test, test, test. Say
You
something.
need more. You need more orange C in your diet. Vitamin C. It's a little bit orange. You need more orange C in your diet. Vitamin C.
Okay, I can hear you through the stream. Thanks, Cam. I don't know what happened there, but none of that was recorded. You only heard me. All of that.
Everything so far? That's cool.
Everything. Everything.
Oh, okay. All right.
So for our
It'll be
audio
fine for
listeners, fuck all y'all. I guess up to this point.
So if he does the monkey without the hands over the eyes, ears, or mouth, does that mean that the monkey's fine and can hear, see, and speak evil? And
that monkey is a straight Satan worshiper. It's all about the evil. It's
okay.
Evil incarnate. That was interesting.
Burns with the fire of 1,000 suns.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so recap on what we missed. Rambling, and then Adam's buying silver bullets. That's pretty much it.
You're caught up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
If werewolves existed, how much would my life change? Again, it depends on what kind of werewolves are we talking about. If it's like, what's that Netflix movie or show? Hemlock Grove.
Hemlock Grove.
If it was like those, I'd be a lot more terrified than if it's like the God, I'm forgetting the name of the show, but anyways, where when they're not werewolves, they're pretty normal and they have an idea what's going on. So I think that depends. I also think it depends on how well known the issue is, because if we're being serious, knowing our government, they likely would eradicate and or control any mutations such as this. So I don't know how much it would honestly change our lives, but who knows? And kind of to Adam's point, now that I'm not doing a whole lot, I don't know. I don't think it would affect my life too much. But again, there's a lot of variables here. I might try to go get bit, to be honest.
to become one?
Yeah.
I feel like that would just be wildly inconvenient. Like, you gotta plan your day around that. You know, you're like, oh, it's a full moon.
Day a month-ish. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but
I would just move to like a small village in Brazil or something, and then just go ape shit on bad guys every once a month.
I think that really depends on the type of werewolf.
Yeah,
like if you're just like mindless, kill everything werewolf, like I don't know that you got a choice.
Yeah, but if I know I'm going to turn and I go position myself right next to their camp and just lay down in the bushes, and then when I turn, they're the closest food.
Huh.
It happens.
And then they're gonna start carrying silver bullets, crosses, and shit. Ryan, what you got?
I'm kind of on Adams. Like, it's one day a year. Like, just do werewolves have
one day a year?
Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's really like it's not going to affect your life other than one day when the moon is full. I mean, that's it. So you have like, if werewolves don't have opposable thumbs, just fucking stay in your house. Like, who cares? Like, you'll be fine. I'm not even gonna worry about buying silver bullets. Like, just don't go outside, and then you're
Well,
good.
and I feel like there'd probably be things built into like home code. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
your first level, this isn't werewolf proof. You're
Right.
gonna need to get this fixed before you can buy the house, or the appraisal isn't gonna go through as like it should. And like it's just gonna be built like building code, like it's hurricane proof, it's werewolf proof. Like I
Right.
don't know, some bullshit shutters that are like tin, but hey, it passes code, so.
Yeah, I don't. And to Justin's point too, are you telling me the U.S. government wouldn't just fucking eradicate everybody who's a werewolf? Like, goodbye. So I'm not worried. I wouldn't be worried at all. My life would not change hardly in the slightest. That's my answer.
I feel as if most world governments are way too inept to completely do that. But that's just me. For me, I think things would get a lot easier if there was werewolves for me, because I would have been dead long time ago. They would have got me. They would have got me early. I mean, it's like a zombie apocalypse. I just am too lazy. I'll slip up and forget to lock my door one day. Game over. Or I'd be like out. I do most of my grocery shopping at like midnight. Or I guess I did when stores were still open in the evenings. And yeah, I would just be like driving home, like forget that werewolves exist, and forget it's a full moon, and game over. So it could be a lot easier for me. But I also like I don't know wouldn't have lived past the age of like 10. So pros and cons, But yeah, now I still need to find. I'm gonna buy me some silver bullets, just to say that I own them. I don't even have a gun. Like
You just want
I,
the bullet.
I just want the silver bullets. Say I've got them. Anywho, what are we playing now? We'll go with Ryan. Oh no, and you're gonna have a very probably long description.
We all know Ryan's
We all know what's gonna happen. Justin,
Might
you
be a
go
little
first.
long.
So, I've been playing a stupid amount of Shatterline, the free-to-play shooter. It's got a good PvE mode, but I've been really digging the PvP mode. And the game right before I hopped over here, I got my first kill cam. So they do like a play of the game, and I had like 5 kills on screen, and then I killed 2 more after it, but I was killing for so long it ran out of time. So that was pretty badass, but it's just a solid shooter. This for a free to play game, I'm honestly impressed with how good it is. And then if you do like the PvE stuff, it's only 3-player, but like you, Jeremy, and Leif, I bet would have a ton of fun with it, Ryan.
Interesting. Okay.
The PvE
Yeah,
stuff
the
is a lot
PvE
of
is
fun.
super fun. I really liked it.
Okay.
And again, free to play. So if you guys are ever looking for a game that you can't hurt to try it out. I picked up Sunday Assassin's Creed Origins again. I would like to, now that I got my computer back up and running, as you can see.
Woo!
Yeah, it feels really good, not gonna lie. I sadly had to throw a bit of money at it to make it work, but here we are. And played a tiny bit of Cyberpunk just to see what it looked like on the computer, which was beautiful. The downside is my save was from 2020, and I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. So I loaded that save, and like I was in the. Have you guys all played?
Nope.
I was in the like the Badlands or the desert or whatever
Oh, yeah.
outside the city, and it looks like I just finished a mission because there were a bunch of dead bodies around me, and I loaded up with my claws out, my those blades, the mantis blades.
Yeah, the mantis blades.
Yeah.
And all of my um, like talents and everything were reset. So I don't know if a patch reset everything, but I had I have to reset everything, and I don't even know what I was doing. So I'm just a bit overwhelmed. I ended up looking through the controls to figure out what the controls even were. I called my car. I had a fairly good amount of money, so I looked through my quests and saw a quest to buy cars, and I picked out the coolest, most expensive Badlands off-road vehicle, and I went and bought that. And then I did a mission where I ended up killing the people that I took this briefcase from for basically no reason. Got into a fight with some cops, ran, and then I was overwhelmed again. So that was as far as I got on that. And then I played more Grounded with Adam, and I will let him speak to Grounded.
Cool.
Good transition. Go ahead, Adam.
We done beat Grounded.
Don't beat it.
Ew.
Yeah, we got all the way through it.
How was it?
And
How was it? How was the ending?
It was very good, I thought. And we like even did a bunch of optional sort of things before we did the quote unquote ending. And apparently got the good ending. Apparently there's multiple endings and we got the good one apparently. So
Nice.
yeah, it was a really good game. It was, I thought, for a survival game. I mean, Justin, we don't typically get all the way through them sometimes, but this one we were like determined to beat it, and we did. We beat it. It felt really good.
it felt so good.
Felt
Was
really
there
good.
a final boss, like you fought a hornet or something?
So
No spoilers, I guess, but I
Okay, fair
mean,
enough.
what? There was
one of the
two.
reasons
Yeah, go ahead.
one of the reasons that we got the good ending was we did choose to go after a particular boss that I guess you
Okay.
don't have to do
Yeah.
the final ending.
It took us 3 attempts. Died 2 times. Well, the second time was so demoralizing. He was so close to dying, but fuck it. But we did it the third time and we beat him.
Is there a
Yeah.
downside to dying? Like, do you lose your shit or?
It's just really frustrating, and your stuff, there's durability loss, so your
Mhm.
stuff can eventually break, but you just use materials to repair it. It's not like it's broke forever, but
But you drop everything except for the item you had equipped in your armor.
so you got to
So
go
you have to run
get your
back,
shit.
which for this particular boss,
Meant you
basically
have to
when you
keep doing the boss
yeah, when you
essentially.
get there, there's no exit.
Yeah.
So we just basically once we started it the first time, we just started. When we died, we would
Or
grab stuff
lose
that we
all your
needed.
shit.
It's
And
kind of
then
like
the final
dropping your souls in the boss room. You're like, I either get those souls back and defeat the boss, or I just they're gone to
But
me
it's not even
forever.
that. It's like you lose all of your like tier 3 equipment, like
Hmm.
the stuff you had, like it's not just losing your souls. It's like it's losing a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
yeah, and it was kind of funny because on the final try, we brought stuff to make a lean-to, so we set our respawns outside so that if it happened again, we could get there quicker, and then we beat it. So we didn't even need it this time.
Yeah. But
I
then
brought it the
one of
second
the
time, but I forgot
bosses
to build it.
one of the bosses we did on the first try.
Yep.
That was fun. And then the one that we thought was going to be the hardest, which was pretty tricky the first time, but we just didn't know what to expect. I thought the second time around we crushed it with a little bit of luck from the mantis or the mant to help us, but
Yeah, it
yeah.
felt really good to beat that. So then Adam and I were looking through our list of what other survival games we have that we could go back that are now like out of early access and are beatable. So there's a couple that we've thought about, but right now I'm just enjoying Shatterline.
There you go.
But
I
then
basically uninstalled after we beat it, and before we get in here, I see on Steam pop up Adam playing Grounded.
yeah,
Like,
I'm
what the
still
fuck are
playing
you
it a little
doing?
bit. Like Cat and I played it Sunday, and I was telling Justin today, like I found something just Sunday that we never found in our playthrough. So like there's still stuff to find in the backyard. It's pretty cool how dense and interesting that game is. But Other than that, been playing Stalker a lot just because, god damn it, I want Stalker 2 to come out so goddamn bad. But I don't know. I think that was really about it.
I'm gonna go, and then you can have the floor, Ryan. I played some Genshin. That's pretty much it from video game wise. I did play a couple of board games since the last time we recorded, such as Vampire the Masquerade Rivals with Justin. Played that both physically and on Tabletop Simulator. Although we didn't finish that game, we still need to do that. But and then I played another board game, but I'm going to leave that for my pick of the week. So you'll get to hear about it then.
Is that in person?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
I'm assuming I know what it was.
I don't know that I told you, and I don't know. I didn't play it with you, so maybe.
Ooh.
I was guessing one of the single player.
One of the single player ones. So it does have a single player variant. But it's
Played with
not.
people.
Yeah. Tyler came over. But it's not. So a game that I got that I'm really excited to play is called Don't Look Back, which is like a horror 90s slasher skirmish game. That is not the game that I played. I still need to finish. I'm building the little killer here. I 3D printed some additional weapons for him, and then there's like the like teenagers that are getting murdered. Um, I'm also working on. I bought some tile, like 12 by 12 tiles. That I'm turning into terrain tiles so that I can rearrange them and make some cool shit out of that. So I bought 7 lifetime supply of grout that I have way too much grout now for dirt and whatever, and laser cut some stuff, and then I 3D printed some open lock connectors to make all of the terrain magnet together if I want it to, but so I'm spending a lot of time, effort, and money into a game I have yet to play, as is per tradition. But Don't Look Back.
This is the way.
It seems super cool. But that is not the game I played. I haven't assembled it yet. But
Me?
you are up, sir.
Okay, so first, I told myself I was gonna beat Gotham Knights before the game I've been playing the most came out, and instead I just uninstalled it. It is a really bad game. Like it's real bad. I know last time we recorded, I said it was the most average game I've ever played. I downgraded it. It's not a good game. It's really. I would not purchase this one. Like even on a deep sale, I don't think I'd purchase this one. So uh that just went away. So you'll never hear me talk about Gotham Knights again. Um
I'm
but
curious what made it downgrade.
it's just like the combat is so terrible, and I just got to the point where it was like I'm not gonna keep doing this over and over and over again, where it's just like run into a room, fight a bunch of the same guys, run into another room, fight a bunch of the same guys. I'm like, I'm not doing it. And like trying to upgrade my equipment so that I can do side missions, I was like, I don't care. Like the story was okay. It told an okay story because I love the Court of Owls, but it's just bad. It's not a good game. It's really not a good game. Yeah, I wouldn't like. Did I talk about the fast travel system last time? I can't remember.
I
If
don't
you
think
do, I
so.
don't
I don't
remember.
think so.
Okay, so getting around in the city, the best way to do it is using the bat cycle, and the bat cycle's slow as fuck. Like it is not fun to drive. You get passed by like taxis are like driving just as fast as you are, and I'm like, this is not fun. So eventually you get to a point where you can fast travel, unlock fast travel points. And the way to unlock fast travel points is there's like these drones in the sky around the fast travel point, and you have to scan them so they don't shoot down the Batwing and like turn them over to the good side or whatever, which consists of watching this slow ass flying drone, figuring out when it gets close to a building, grappling up to that building, waiting for it to come back around and scan it. Or there's another one that are shielded and you can't scan them if they're in the air. You have to wait until they land in their docking station. So you just find the docking station and then you just go stand by it and you just wait for this drone to fly down into the dock and then you can scan it. And you have to do that multiple times across the entire map. And I'm like, whose idea was this? Who was like, this is how we're gonna do fast travel? And somebody was like, that's a perfect idea, get on it. Like I just don't understand. It's a bad game, man.
What do you
So
want? Like a horse that you walk up to and be like, "Get me to this spot," like I don't
I
know.
want just like Gotham Knight did or Arkham Knight did. The Batmobile was fun to drive, dude. That was fun as fuck. I'll take that any day. So I don't. It's just not a good game, man. It's just really not a good
I guess
game.
when I think of fast travel, I think of like teleporting you to a location.
Well, yeah, that's what it is eventually. Like if
Well,
you
but
un
so it's not just a quicker way to travel, which
what's
is what
that?
you were describing with like the motorcycle or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, it's fast travel. You click a point on the map and then you go. The Batwing drops you.
So is the
So
drone thing just to unlock the
to
location?
unlock the fast travel, yeah,
Okay, that's
and it's
not
like
the worst thing in the world. I was thinking you
I
had to
was
do
gonna
that
say,
every
like,
single
I don't know.
time, and I'm like,
um
Jesus Christ.
play it, and tell me it's not the worst thing in the world. It's fucking
I'm not
terrible,
saying it's
dude.
good. I'm just,
Yeah,
I was thinking,
it's
I was
bad.
thinking you meant you had to do that every time you wanted to
Oh
fast travel,
no. Okay,
and
that would be awful. I
yeah, I'm
would have
like,
burned.
Yeah, he's like,
That would have been
"Fuck
real
this
bad.
thing."
the
Yeah,
second time I would have
I
uninstalled that
mean,
game. Right.
how is it any different from like Assassin's Creed, like going up to the spot and like
but that
finding the like circle around? Like, I mean, you have to do something to
Assassin's
like
Creed,
unlock it. I
all you
don't
gotta
know.
do is just climb to the top of a building and hit a button. That's
Yeah, but
Assassin's Creed.
sometimes towards the end, there's a lot of jumping puzzles, and it gets a little tricky towards the end. I don't know. Like,
I will
it
take that
just
over what Gotham Knights did any day.
At
Any
least with
I,
day.
Assassin's
I-
Creed's like jump puzzle, you're actively doing something as
Yeah,
opposed to just
not
like
just
sitting
waiting.
there
and
waiting.
that's fine. I'm saying it's the same sort of thing. Like, you can't critique the fact that you have to do that, but if it's just like a mundane sitting there waiting for something to happen, like I get it. Like I
Yeah.
understand that.
It's
But
just the whole game's not good, man. It's really not good. Like they went the Destiny route of improving your gear, where you just find all this arbitrary shit, and it's not good. It's really bad. So I uninstalled it. I'm playing Plague Tale Innocent still, trying to get through that because I really want to play Plague Tale Requiem. Innocence is very good. Then I have a game I want to recommend to all three of you, called Into the Breach. I got it
Sounds
on my
super
Switch.
familiar.
I
yeah,
got it
I'm
on the
familiar
Switch.
with
I
it.
think it's $20. It's really good, dude. Like simple and strategic at the same time. Uh Basically it's simple in the fact that you have 3 units. That's it. And your 3 units drop onto this small grid and you have to fight off waves of aliens with just your 3 units. That's all you get.
It's the same people that did Faster Than Light, right?
I know- I have
Yeah,
no idea.
yeah, subset. I think
Well, it
yes,
says from
subset
the
games.
creators of FTL.
Yeah. That's I've played this game years ago.
Into the
It's
Breach
been
you did?
yeah, super good game.
I just discovered it. It was on a sale on the Switch. Very good. Like surprisingly
What's it on
good.
sale for?
But it's one you can just like pick up for 10, 15 minutes, set it down, come back. Like it's not something you need to grind or whatever. Really good game. So,
Did you ever
um,
play Faster Than Light?
I never even
Oh,
heard of it.
you should play that then. If you enjoyed this, it's a little bit different. It's kind of like a ship management sort of game where you've got
Okay.
like sectors and the ship, and like you can get attacked, and there's a lot of like RNG involved
Interesting.
in it. But no, Into the Breach is super good.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I love Into the Breach. I remember a really good time. And like I said, I just like if I go up to bed, I'll just turn on my Switch for 15 minutes, play until I die, and then okay, I'll try again tomorrow. Like really good. It's really good. So but the game I've been playing the most is a little indie title you might have heard of called God of War Ragnarok.
Indie title.
It is it might be the best game I've ever played. Now, note, I'm not saying it's my favorite game I've ever played, but it might be the best game ever made, in my opinion. Just fucking incredible. And unfortunately, I'm not going to talk as long as you guys think I am, because it is so spoiler filled. I cannot talk about the story, like hardly at all, because I'll spoil the ever living shit out of 2018 God of War, because it's just a direct continuation. So there's not a whole lot I can talk about as far as story goes, but it is checking every box. Like gameplay wise, the combat's even more brutal than the last game. Um Kratos, I cannot believe the Kratos we started with the original trilogy, which was just rip everything a new asshole and fuck who cares about anything else, to the Kratos we have now, who's like a dad who loves his son, and like it's just incredible that journey that dude's been on. And like
Actually has
the
depth.
thing I like, what's that?
Actually has depth of a
Yeah,
character.
he has
Like
depth. Oh my god. But and the thing I like about it too is
Can
like
we really say that the like first three plays like God of Wars really have any tangent to the last God of War? Like I feel
uh
like it is. I feel like it's a new retelling of the story.
it's a reinvention for sure.
Yeah,
But
because I like we like the first one, two, and three, like God of War is like it's his. Yeah, I understand his wife dies, his kid dies, Ash, whatever. Like there is no like character
no,
development
absolutely not.
with those at all.
Right.
So like the fact that they come back with him now, the Norse, and like having a kid, like that is definitely a new retelling.
Oh,
Like I don't
absolutely.
think they're attached at all,
But what I love about it is
short of the name.
right.
Like
But
yeah.
what I love about it is they're not pretending that those three games didn't existed. Like it's still very much a part of who Kratos is now. Like all the shit he went through. Like for example, I mean, I don't think this is a spoiler if you know what Ragnarok is. If you saw Thor Ragnarok, if you saw that movie, you know what Ragnarok is. But it's basically like the Armageddon of the Norse
What is
version is what it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
right? Um so like there are certain characters in the game that want to go to war with Odin. That are like, it's time to take Asgard down. We have to go to war with Odin, take on Thor. And Kratos is the one who's going, you don't understand what you're asking for. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into. War is not the answer. Like, whereas old Kratos was like, I'm gonna fucking kill everybody. And like now you have this new Kratos who's seen some shit and he's like, you don't understand. I've been down this road. I know what this entails. You do not want to do this. So that's incredible. And I love his character arc. I love how he's grown. Um, but yeah, the combat's incredible. I mean, it's not a perfect game. Like the menu system's very clunky, which is a problem I had in the first game. Um, just like way too much going on, and like certain things to equip and upgrade, and I don't know. The menu system's really clunky. And then I got one other gripe, but that's a spoiler, so I can't really talk about that either. Um, all I can say is, man, this is like it makes me feel like the first time I played The Last of Us, of like this is something different. Like this is fucking incredible.
So if I were gonna play it, what would I need to play first?
2018's God of War.
That's it.
Yeah. I would. I mean, the original. They have mentions to the original trilogy, so they talk about it, but it's not like something you have to play. I don't think.
they
Very
don't.
different games.
The new
Unless
one
he's
only
talking
came
about
out
what
on
him like
PS5.
fighting Zeus, and like I mean,
Yeah.
what sort of
All,
mentions could
yeah.
there
All you
be?
have to know about the original God of War is Kratos kills every god. That's what you need to know.
He killed Ares to become the god of war,
The god of war.
obviously,
Yeah.
and then later on kills Zeus.
Everybody. Zeus,
because
Aphrodite.
because I guess, yeah, and then like a couple other like Greek gods, like
Yeah.
just because.
So he goes after the rest because he has a half brother named Dimitri. I can't remember what his half brother's name was, but Zeus kind of pits them against
Dimitri
each
or something
other.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, but Zeus pits them together and doesn't tell them that they're half brothers. And anyways, I don't want to spoil the old God of War either. So
that's
um,
the 2022 one
no, 2022 is
for
the one I'm playing
for
now.
PC.
Oh yeah, PC 2022. Yeah. So yeah, there's mentions to the old game, but and then there's really one moment in the game where I'm glad I played the original trilogy, but I don't I don't think that's a spoiler either. Can I say that? I think I can say that. Yeah, I'm gonna
You're
say it.
the
I
one, you're
think
the one against spoilers,
yeah,
so
I know, but I think this is safe. But remember when I talked about having oh shit moments in game, where it's just like goosebumps. Holy shit, is this really happening? So 2018's God of War is uh for reasons I'm not going to get into for spoilers. His Leviathan axe, which is an incredible weapon. It's like Thor's hammer, but it's an axe. But he can't use it to go up against certain enemies. So he's like, I have to go back. And I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna do it. And he like goes back to his house and you see him wrapping the chains around his arms. I was like, oh shit, Blades of Chaos. And like, yeah, so then he gets the Blades of Chaos out. That was the only reason I was like, I'm really glad I played the original game, but otherwise,
Because you understand where
yeah, you
that
understand what
weapon
that
come
means.
from and like
Yeah.
what that means. Because
Yeah, of him putting that back on
yeah,
again. Um so
that was my gripe with the first one. Is like he didn't have that. He's got
oh
this
he
fucking
sure
axe,
does.
and he's like,
Yeah,
the best part of fucking 1, 2, and 3 is
right.
swinging fucking chain
Yep.
blade things.
Yeah, they pop into the game about not a little before halfway through. He goes back and gets them. Um, but yeah, just the story of Kratos and Atreus, man. Like, oh my god, it's so good. I can't. Like, it's interesting because like Horizon Forbidden West is a game I was really looking forward to this year, and it was a good game. Don't get me wrong. I really liked my time with it. But as I was playing it, I was like, it just feels like more Horizon. You know what I mean? Like, it's just another Horizon game. This feels like something different. This feels like just a step up from the original game that I was not expecting. And I cannot wait to see where it goes. I have a feeling I'm gonna be bawling my eyes out at the end credits. Like shit's about to go down. Like it's gonna get rough. So a lot of people are gonna die. Um, but yeah,
I just
I can't.
realized
Huh?
I'm probably going to have to wait years before it comes out on PC, aren't I?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you will.
yeah, because it only
Unless
came out on
Sony
PS5.
decides to be, unless Sony decides to be good people, but they probably won't. So, but anyways, I can't talk about the story anymore, so that's all I'm gonna say. But just a remarkable game, remarkable game. From art direction to acting to music to gameplay, storytelling, all of it's just fucking
Is it all
incredible.
one shot so far,
Yeah, it
Ryan?
is. Yep, fuck yeah, it is, dude. Like, god damn, it's good. So, um,
I look
but yeah,
forward to it in 2027 when it
yeah,
comes to
there you go.
PC.
Right.
Did
When
you
you get in a humble bundle.
and then
Yeah.
never play it?
Yeah. I look forward to installing it and never actually hitting
Yeah.
play in Steam.
Right.
Uh,
Did you ever play 2018's, Josh?
nope.
No. Okay, fair
No.
enough.
Which is
All right.
interesting because, like, single player story driven is also my jam. So it, like,
Right.
really should. But I never did.
Fair enough. Yeah. I recommend everybody at least try it. God, it's a fucking good game.
It's on my wish
Um,
list, I think, right
yeah.
now on Steam.
Yeah, definitely. So, anyways, that's all I got. That's what I've been playing.
Sweet. Why don't we move on to the news? Number one, Sony has officially announced the release date and price point for the PSVR. The headset will launch February 22nd. It will be priced at $550 US. Pre-orders will go live November 15th. While everyone is focusing on the high price point, the bigger news that has flown under the radar is that Sony is taking pre orders directly through the PlayStation Store, seemingly cutting out box store retailers. Retailers like Walmart, GameStop, Target, Best Buy, etc., will not have access to the initial launch. How do you feel about that, Ren?
So, yeah. So, the website that I use to get most of our news is gamesindustry.biz. And it's interesting that they're the only one that reported on that tidbit of it. I thought that was interesting. Every other website like IGN, Kotaku, all this shit was just freaking out over the $550, which I honestly don't think is that high, if I'm being honest with you. Other than no backwards compatibility is a little bit of a bitch. I didn't understand that one. Like you can't play PSVR 1 games on the PSVR 2. I was like, huh, I don't know about that, Sony. But yeah, I think the more interesting part of the story is like GameStop survives on being able to sell shit like this day one, and they're not going to have access to it. Best Buy, which has been in financial trouble for quite some time now, same thing. Walmart probably doesn't give a fuck. They probably couldn't care less. But or like Amazon too probably doesn't give a shit. Um but I thought that was really interesting. Like it just feels like Sony's putting themselves on this desert island and they keep doing it. Like they're trying to open up a little bit of putting some shit on PC finally, but it still feels like they're taking the Nintendo route a little bit of just we're gonna do our own thing, fuck everybody else. Which I think was really interesting. So $550 price point. I'm not gonna buy this personally, but if you look at like Oculus and Vives and kind of all the other shit that's out there, I don't is 550 that crazy? Like I
It's
don't know.
not.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think
Yeah,
it is.
that's what I was thinking too.
Especially
And
for
with
what you're getting. You're getting like two OLED 4K screens for your eyes, in and out like tracking within the headset, so you don't need the light sensors. Like it's got a lot of good technology going on for it for what it is, especially for a plug and play with your PS5 if you are lucky enough to have one. I just that price point is actually pretty decent. You
right,
know, if you're getting a entry level VR headset, you know, some of the like HP Reeves and like some of the other ones, like you're gonna be spending about $500 anyway. So
right, right,
I think that's right about par for the course.
definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not I don't know if I'll ever be into VR, but I'm not gonna pick
It's
this up.
becoming a lot more accessible, and I'm
Right,
really excited about that. Like
right.
the price points are dropping, and you're getting really good screen resolution without shuttering and stuff for like $500. Like you're getting closer to getting it mainstream, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, definitely. Um, but anyways, those are my thoughts on it. So if that's your thing, VR is your thing, have fun, go for it. But I'm probably gonna pass. But I thought the more interesting part of the story was Sony probably pissing off their retail partners. So just fuck everybody. But that's what I got.
Anything to add, Justin?
I don't have a lot to add on the price. I also am not shocked on that. I mean, all of the consoles are more. The original PSVR was 400, so adding $150 when you think about what is inside of it, that doesn't shock me. I mean, the fact that you don't, if anyone is getting the PSVR 2 and they didn't ever use the PSVR, they don't even know how big of an upgrade a lot of these features are and how big of a pain in the ass a lot of the original ones were to deal with. So the price, to everyone else's point, I don't think is a big deal. The flying under, or the piece that's flying under the radar with the pre-orders, I think, I mean, yes, it is likely pissing off the big box, but with the amount of trouble that they've gone through with the PS2 or PS5 release,
Mhm.
with scalpers and all of the other resellers, like doing deals under the table, and who's, you know what I mean, like there's a lot of shit that big box stores from a corporate perspective just can't control, and this is their way to control them.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it's necessarily a big deal, especially for the initial launch. Like if they get them later when the the supply is more accessible as well, then release them. But I think this is actually better for gamers because this is actually going to guarantee that, not I guess guarantee, but I can only guess that this will give you a better chance of actually getting one than you would have in the cutthroat environment that, say, the PS5 launch was.
For sure.
And so, I mean, realistically, in today's world, you're either bitching about one thing or you're bitching about another. So it is what it is. But no, I don't think that either of these are bad moves.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the exact same thought as I'm like, the supply chain was disastrous for the PlayStation. I mean, it's still not amazing in some places. So like it doesn't shock me that they're going to control their output, because part of the issue is not only does Sony needs to make the things and get the things and package them and whatever, but then they have to cart them off to wherever, and that just adds more complexity and more delay into the getting it to consumers, when they could just say, okay, initially we're only going to have a million of these things, so we're just going to control the first million, and then we'll start giving them out, because I think that's just going to be such a cleaner, such a more consistent way of handling the deployment of them. I don't know that any of the retailers will really give a shit, in all honesty. Like, it just kind of is what it is. I if it was like, hey, this is a Best Buy exclusive, then of course Walmart and Amazon and GameStop would be fucking pissed. But selling it directly from Sony, I mean, I don't think that they care like a
I mean,
ton.
with how the launch went for the PS5, they kind of did it to themselves.
I feel like GameStop cares because I feel like GameStop's digging in couch cushions for like pennies, but
The fact
they're
that GameStop is still alive
yeah,
is just,
right,
Blows my mind. Yeah.
right.
it's like the sick dying horse that just won't give
It just
up.
won't go.
I bought this hat at GameStop a couple weeks ago. I went into a GameStop randomly. I've not been in a GameStop in like 10 years.
But see, Josh, I think that's the whole point of why GameStop is still around. It's all the tchotchkes and shit. Like, it's
Yeah,
not the games. It's like the
pop
parents
figures
or
and
grandparents coming in because like my son's a gamer and he likes Sonic, and, like they get him like some random bullshit thing. It's not about
Sanic.
the game. Like I don't know, I don't know. It's. I think that's the only reason they're around because like there's plenty of times where I go in there, I'm like, oh, there's a fucking really cool pop thing, or there's a really cool like figure. Like I'm not there because of necessarily the game. Like sure, you're trying to find a pre-owned game, and you look at it and you're like,
yeah.
why is this pre-owned game like $45 when the new game is $50? Like what the fuck? But it's all the other shit that's the reason they're still around.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that they knew that as well when they bought like ThinkGeek, which still makes me sad because
Mhm.
that website had a bunch of
I know,
dope
right? I
things
used
on
to
it.
love that website.
By the way,
Um,
that's where I got my Xbox Series X was off ThinkGeek.
they were
They
like,
they like merge like video games, etc., which is a local thing of ours, plus like a hot topic.
yeah,
That's
And
so
like,
weird.
but I mean, am I wrong
Right?
though?
No,
I
you're
mean,
not
like
wrong.
that's
You're
totally what
not
it is. It's
wrong.
like all the
Yeah,
shit out of like hot topic, but it's like the nerdy video game things, which
right.
is like a quarter of it already.
Yeah.
So whatever.
yeah, and I mean, honestly, some of the like video game like statues, like big statue replica things, that's the only place you can find them.
Mm-hmm.
So like they do have a lot of exclusives, which are kind of nice. Kind of nice as in I want to own them, not that I want to pay for them most of the time. But But yeah, so I, I could see that they probably care, but I think to my point earlier, I think if it was exclusive to one of their competitors, I think they would care a lot more than it just being
Yeah.
sold. Because I mean, like Oculus, you could only get through Facebook. Like you couldn't buy it through a retailer. I don't know if that has changed even. I don't know if any of you know, like if you can buy it from Amazon or anything now, but like, um, I mean, also like this is video game related, but you could only buy Chromecast through Google. So I think this is something that's pretty common with hardware retailers. But it's odd in the video game world. You're on mute, but
And you can get a Chromecast from pretty much anywhere now.
yeah,
But yeah, I think it's just falls now with supply. It lets them control the initial sale.
and
It's
control the
becoming more
messaging around
normal.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm fine with it personally.
I mean, what retailers around the world sold all of their stock off to scalpers? And like
Probably a good amount
who
of them.
allowed this to even happen? Is like they're the reason that we're in this boat, so they can't really be mad for the world they created.
I had to use a scalping bot to get my graphics card. So like I had to give in the scalper tactics. Granted, I bought the one. I didn't, I didn't buy 50 of them and try to sell them, but like that's why I appreciate websites that are like requiring two-factor and requiring account age and actually trying to fight scalpers, even if it means that they lose some money in the long run. Because did Walmart require that for buying a PS5? Oh hell no! They don't give a shit who their money comes from as long as they get it. But
Do you think they would actually like kind of opening day let somebody walk out there with like 10 PS5s though? I doubt it.
They
Money's
probably
money.
did
They
it
don't give a fuck.
before opening day.
What's
They
that?
probably sold it out of the back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Some shitty manager or something sold extras for extra money, and that's how all of this starts.
I mean, do y'all remember when people were hijacking trucks to like steal shipments of
Yeah,
PS5s? Do you
Fast and the
remember that?
Yeah,
Furious.
Yeah, I
Fast
was
and
just
Yeah.
Furious.
Come on, Josh. We're not that old.
So
DVD
yeah,
VCR combos.
I've not seen Fast
Hot
and the Furious,
commodity.
so I don't know the reference, but
Should we have a? Can we have a movie night
yeah.
and watch Fast and
Watch
Furious?
it.
I have
I
seen
will
one
not
of the
participate.
Fast and the
We'll watch the
Furious.
first one and then watch Tokyo Drift because that's
What's
like the.
what's the
What,
one where
what was
they
that?
like ramp
Shut
the
up, Brian.
car
You're not
from
even.
like a skyscraper in Mumbai or something?
No. We'll watch the first one and we'll watch Tokyo Drift and that'll be fine.
The only
Y'all
thing I
have
know
fun.
about Tokyo Drift is the soundtrack. Uh, do we have anything else to add here other than Fast and the Furious?
No.
All right, go on to the second one. It appears Sony's fear of losing Call of Duty is well founded, and Activision's newest entry in the decade-old series has surpassed 800 million in sales in its first 5 days, the most since 2011's Modern Warfare 3. It also broke series records for most unique players and hours played.
It definitely broke 1 billion though. Since this,
Oh yeah.
since you wrote this, it
Oh,
broke
yeah.
1 billion.
Because it's what this was
Like
written
a
like
week or so ago. Yeah,
two
it was
weeks
like a week
ago.
or so ago. It broke 1 billion, but
It's also really interesting reading your statement here because it's like it feels like I'm saying my opinion, and I'm like, this isn't my opinion. But Justin, we'll start with you. What do you think?
I'm not sure that I can muster up enough willpower to actually give a fuck.
I'm in the same boat.
Just because it's Call of Duty.
I mean, I've heard all the guys at work are gushing about it. I think the Warzone 2, from all the gushing I've heard, comes out tomorrow.
But that's free, isn't it?
the
Yeah, that's free.
16th, I think, is when it comes out. So Wednesday. But
so I mean,
yeah,
that's something that I will likely install. But
yep.
don't care.
So I want to point out, I think uh, Activision's marketing campaign for this game was brilliant because they took something that's been the same since the beginning and they came out firing. This is a new era of Call of Duty. This is where things turn. This is where things you've never seen before are going to happen. And stupid people bought into that shit and they fucking bought this game in droves. Like the most units sold since 2011's Modern Warfare 3, that's not nothing. Like, and it's the same game. It is the same game. But because shit, I can't remember her name. The at the game Summer Game Fest. I remember Jeff Keighley was interviewing her or whatever, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this is people have never seen Call of Duty like this before. This is gonna be something different." And everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be something different." And they bought the same game that they've played how many fucking times? So I think that has a lot to do with it. Um, and this just kind of solidifies why Sony's shitting their pants of losing Call of Duty. Because, I mean, say 200 million of that was Sony. That's $200 million. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I don't know. So,
Well, the kind of crazy thing is that Activision almost kicked itself in the face because think how much more and what other records they could have broke if they left it open to everyone.
well, it still is open to everyone now. But,
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
2025, they're going to quit or
yeah,
something like
whatever it
that.
is, yeah.
The weird
So,
thing is, why would they not wait until the deal is final to announce that? Like, it just
right,
seems so weird that they're like, hey, let's open up all of the conversations about monopolizing today while the
right,
deal isn't unfinalized, instead of just
right,
waiting like a year. Just wait. Uh,
right.
Maybe contract negotiations were required, so they had to come out public with it because it was going to happen regardless. But it just seems just wait, just wait
Right.
a year, you know. Um, so strange.
But yeah, like I have a coworker who works in a different department than me, but I'm friends with him on Xbox, and I saw immediately day one Call of Duty, and that's all he's been doing is Call of Duty. So that was during the Call of Duty launched when I had COVID. So when I got back to work, I was like, man, I see you playing a lot of Call of Duty. He's like, oh my God, it's the best Call of Duty I've never played. And I'm like, okay, what is different about it than the other games? Like, what is different about it than the last game? And he didn't have an answer. Like, he couldn't tell me. I'm like, that's because it's the same fucking game. You bought the same fucking game that you've been playing this whole time. Like people who play Madden, you're buying the same fucking game over and over and over and over again. I don't. It just blows my mind. But I don't. That's a chunk of change, boys. That's a lot of money. So
Yeah.
I mean, something that they do really well, and like, been having a ton of fun with Shatterline because, well, one, it's free to play, but the gunplay is just so smooth, and that's something Call of Duty can also claim.
yeah, oh for
And
sure.
the amount of different guns and like you have all the progressions to unlock stuff, so it has things that just trigger those. What I don't know.
It's endorphins when you unlock stuff,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's buying it expecting it to be wildly different. I don't actually think that the vast majority of people expect it to be different. I
I
think people
agree.
I
buy
think
it because it is the same fucking game every time.
yeah.
They only
Yep.
get like an hour at night when between their kids and like other shit, and they're like, I can play a game and I can jump in and do shit, and I know what to expect.
But then why
Like,
did this one sell better than any other one? Like that's what I don't understand. Other than the only difference is that they claimed it was a different game. That's the only thing I can think of.
One statement doesn't necessarily mean that all of the other marketing and
It was on their
bullshit.
box art. It's on the box
I'm
art.
I'm just saying there's a lot of marketing that goes into it
Yeah.
other than that one statement.
Right.
So there's thousands of things that go into why it sells more, not just one statement on the box or otherwise, you know. I uh, I feel like trying to figure out why people continue to buy Call of Duty is like trying to figure out why people pay for EA loot boxes. There's no logic involved. It doesn't it like there's no describing why it's the smart move because we're trying to describe stupid things. You know, I'm not. I don't mean to imply that people who play Call of Duty are stupid. I just mean I don't think there's this like grand smart scheme of investment into the Call of Duty franchise that they are playing some calculated move. It's just they enjoy Call of Duty and they buy it every year. So it's I don't expect the people who play FIFA or Madden to expect things to be different. They just kind of expect it to play like Madden or play like FIFA and continue doing
I
whatever.
found a site that talks about the new Warzone 2 major differences, and I mean there is enough for a fairly large scrollable piece here. So that's just Warzone 2. I guess I don't know what's different in Call of Duty proper, but
What's going on with your camera?
Yeah,
Your camera,
your
all right, Justin?
camera's glitching out there a bit, bud.
Uh,
um,
He's getting cyberpsychosis. He has too much implants.
any
Cyberpunk.
any other comments about Call of Duty? Can we shit on it anymore, or have we beaten this dead horse enough? Um, I mean,
it
honestly,
has a
fuck
new
that horse.
engine.
Toot toot.
Uh, okay. Number 3, the Game Award nominees have been announced. Some notable categories include Game of the Year with Stray, Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, Elden Ring, Xenoblade Chronicle 3, and Plague Tale Requiem getting nominations. The Best Performance category featuring Ashley Birch as Aloy from Horizon Forbidden West, Charlotte McBurney as Amicia, thank you, from Plague Requiem. Christopher Judge is Kratos from God of War. Manon Gage as a spoiler from Immortality, not a clue who that is. And Sonny Soljic,
I think so.
we'll go with that one, as Atreus from God of War. Check out the Game Awards website or Twitter page for a full list of nominees. Ryan, I know where it's not listed here, but we do have a listener question later on. So I'm kind of debating just skipping to the listener question. Just get that over with.
Just do it.
So Christian asks, hi Christian.
What up, Christian?
Hey gents, God of War is right around the corner. Since Ryan is the only cool one, this question is for him. I resent that. How excited are you, and do you think it can surpass Elden Ring as the best game of the year? I think, since we're talking about Game of the Year nominees, since obviously God of War and Elden Ring are listed there, which do you, having played them both, which do you think wins?
So first of all, I have not beaten God of War Ragnarok yet, and that's huge. So that's a big one. I still think Elden Ring is going to take it. I do. Um, just because it's Elden Ring is like a genre defining game. Elden Ring is like something we've never seen before, and it was pulled off flawlessly. So I do think Elden Ring is still going to take it. Um, I mean, I've gushed enough about God of War tonight, Christian. So sorry, we're like a week behind. So you wrote this question before the game came out. But
Question on that: do you think that the fact that God of War is only available for PS5 hinders its chance to?
no, I don't.
I mean, they won
For
Game of
Game
the
Awards,
Year in 2018 when it was a PlayStation exclusive for the original God of War. So,
yeah,
uh, unfortunately for people who don't own a PlayStation, they won't find out
right,
why it was Game of the Year for
right,
another however many years. But
yeah.
it
I
didn't
One
I
seem
d-
to.
thing. a lot more people had PlayStations,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
PS4s than there are PS5s.
I that's why I definitely still think Elden Ring is going to take it at the Game Awards. I'd be shocked if they didn't. I mean, I don't think any other games on this list besides those two have a chance in hell. Like who's gonna vote for Xenoblade Chronicle 3 as Game of the Year if on the same
Weebs.
year Elden Ring came out? So
Weebs will
weeps.
vote for
There you
it.
go. Um. So yeah. On my personal list, do I think God of War Ragnarok might surpass Elden Ring? Yeah, I do. I think it's got a chance. So, but as far as
To the boomer mainstream somehow magically.
but as far as Game Awards, I don't think I think Elden Ring's taking it home for sure. And really, like Josh kind of shared something in Discord the other day of people review bombing Elden Ring because God of War or what was it?
Elden
God of,
Ring sold more copies on release
yes.
than God
Yeah.
of War, and so people were review bombing Elden Ring
Yeah.
because internet reasons, I guess. But then
Like
again, like the next day, I saw people were trying to review bomb God of War because they attacked Elden Ring first, because people need to get a fucking hobby.
Right?
um
What the
It's
fuck?
review bombing.
That
what's
is
that?
their hobby.
That's their
Yeah. But the crazy part, like these two games are both fucking masterpieces. Like we're arguing about what is the better game between arguably two of the best games ever made, like in the history of video games, and that's a good problem to have. So I don't see a downside
The
here.
same year. Like that's
Right
crazy
in
to
the
think
same
about.
year, right? So I don't understand where all the hatred's coming from, or this is a good problem to have. Like if you get two games of that caliber coming out in the same year, that's fucking awesome. That's incredible. So um but I think just kind of going back to Game Awards quick, I'll get my piece out of the way. So Man Engage from Immortality, I was really hoping she was gonna be on here and I'm really glad she was. Um It'd be dope if she won. I don't think she's gonna win because you got some other major heavy hitters in there. Um, but I don't know. I can see Christopher Judge taking it.
Because
Um,
Christopher Judge won like best voice actor for the 2018 version, if I remember correctly.
yes.
So like with his like voice and his skill in it, I kind of expect it to be a back to back, you know.
I mean, I could almost see Sonny taking it too as Atreus, though. He's got a much bigger role in Ragnarok than he did in 2018's. He does a phenomenal job. The kid's a teenager and he just knocks it out of the fucking park. So I mean, who knows? We'll see. But I did want to just point out Main Engage from Immortality. That's really cool that she got nominated. That's fucking awesome. And once again, Immortality, if you haven't played this game, another remarkable game that came out this year. Fucking awesome. So that's my piece on it.
Seeing how none of the rest of us have played God of War, I guess. What are y'all's opinions on?
Right.
Do you think it will win?
Elden Ring. Woo!
Yeah,
I haven't played either.
Yeah. Have you played any of these games, Justin? I don't think you have. No,
Immortality,
you haven't.
Horizon,
Oh
or
yeah, no, I haven't.
Yeah.
you're a huge Xenoblade fan. I know.
A
I know. I've
smidge
Yeah.
heard.
of Immortality, and then yeah, Elden Ring.
Yeah, when you guys were talking shit about Xenoblade, I couldn't even tell you. Like, is that got aliens from Aliens vs Predator?
Yeah, that's a
Xenomorphs.
Not
xenomorph. Yeah,
Xenomorph. No,
yeah.
different.
That's awesome.
Xenoblade 2 was pretty good though. I've
I
heard
feel like I
Xenoblade
played the
3 is good.
first one of those a long time ago, but
Um, so I just had a couple of thoughts here about the Elden Ring God of War thing. I feel as if God of War is a significantly more accessible game, most likely, to like the average, not number of systems, number of consoles able to play it, but it's a more traditional type game, I guess, is maybe how I would describe it. And so I kind of wonder if that will help them in the long run because it's a it doesn't need to define a genre. It does what games have been trying to do, really, really well. And so I wonder if that might help. But a FromSoft game, if I remember correctly, has not won a Game of the Year at the
Really
Game Awards specifically
interesting.
I
ever.
don't think they ever have.
In
I don't think they
fact,
That's
ever have.
crazy.
I don't know if y'all remember, but if I am not mistaken,
Sekiro one.
oh, did I? Okay. If I remember correctly, Dark Souls 3 and 2018 God of War were both Game of the Year contenders in 2018.
Really?
I could be
Interesting.
mistaken, I could be misremembering, but I remember because I had not played God of War, but I played the shit out of Dark Souls 3. So
So good.
I
Dark
could be
Souls 3
misremembering,
was so
but
good.
it is. Yeah, it is
The best
probably
of the Dark Souls.
It is the best of the Dark Soul games.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for Dark Souls 1 and 2, specifically 2 since that's the first one I played, um but Dark Souls 3 is just a better game, but like across the board. It's just a really great game. So
2018 nominees: God of War, which won; Celeste, Monster Hunter World, Red Dead Redemption 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Spider-Man.
I must be misremembering.
But that's a solid fucking year
Say there's
too.
a lot of
Yeah.
fucking good
Shit.
games. Holy shit.
God damn.
I think Celeste won like best soundtrack that year, and I remember
Best
being
indie
pretty
title probably.
best indie title. Like that won a
I
lot
believe
of
Red Dead
awards.
Redemption 2 didn't win that. Fuck,
Right.
that game is so good.
Never played it.
You-
Never played it.
So good,
Very
Josh.
good.
That game is amazing.
I played the first one. I don't necessarily love like Western theme things. Again, I've never
That
seen
one's
like
so good.
half of the Western movies y'all recommend. I don't know. The only reason I
You could do
play
this.
the only reason I play Wild West Exodus with Justin is that I get to play demons. I like don't even play Western themed things. I'd like play spider people and demons and shit. So, Westerns just have never been my jam. But any other thoughts about the nominees, either listed here or otherwise? Do we have a conspiracy question for me to lose?
Do we have a conspiracy theory for Huff to lose?
Speaking of though, I'm
Looks
surprised
like
you
we
wouldn't
do.
like Western because of the chaps, Josh.
See, the
No.
problem is that traditional chaps you wear clothes under.
Optional.
They are optional, but like in westerns and things, they tend to wear pants, and pants are the worst part about chaps.
I like the beard, Adam.
Oh, thank you.
He's got a little silver fox action going on.
I
Thanks.
think needs to grow it out. I've seen him with the big old beard, and it was quite impressive.
I mean, at one point it was like down to here, right?
Jesus.
I don't know that I
When-
saw
like,
it
when we-
quite that long, but
I think Justin may have been the only one that of this crowd have seen it that long.
I've seen pictures that long, but I think yours was about my length when I
You
first
definitely look like a
saw it.
lumberjack.
But anyway,
All right.
question. Hello.
Let's do it.
Ready when you are.
Ready? Okay. In 2018, what creature did a group of 33 scientists suggest was a direct descendant of organic material from outer space? A, the AA, B, the octopus, C, the star-nosed mole, or D, the pangolin?
B.
Pangolin.
I'm gonna go B. Yeah.
That seems too obvious. Did you all
And
take
Pangolins.
this is why you're gonna lose, right? If you pick
Did
something
all of you
else.
take B? Everybody took
We all
B?
took B. We
Yeah.
all took B.
Oh, well, congrats, everybody. It's the octopus.
Oh, that's crazy.
They're so
it
weird.
seemed right, just from like
Right.
traveling out in space and
Thanks,
like
Marissa.
being able to like go through zero. I don't know. That seems right.
So I have read this one is one I actually knew because I have done way too much research into octopi specifically. But there is some weird shit that they can do. Um, so their eyes don't actually see colors like ours do with like rods and cones to be able to see normal colors. So we're still unsure how they can color change so effectively, which is interesting. So they have like cloaking technology that we don't. And the interesting thing is, instead of matching colors exactly, they match patterns. They can change the cells in their skin to match patterns, and your brain is just like, "Yep, that's a brown rock now." All of a sudden, but octopi, fucking dope. I could give
Nice.
octopi facts for.
They are fascinating. They are very fascinating.
I
Yeah.
never want to encounter one in the ocean.
So I caught one on the coast of Oregon. I don't remember exactly where in Oregon, but
A little
we went.
bait and a rock and a trap that fell on him, and he caught him.
No, so we were on like a deep sea fishing boat, and I caught a fish, and so did the octopus. Was on the fish that I caught, and
Yeah.
so reeled it up, and we were like, "Well, this is dope." It's just like a normal octopus, not any like of the dangerous ones. You know, like in Australia, they have like the blue ringed octopus. Don't touch those. But the funniest part about was it got on
Don't
deck.
touch anything in Australia.
That's a yeah,
Facts. Yeah.
and so it got on deck and then was like slipping and sliding around, like trying to find a way off the deck. And it decided, since it could not find an out, that the best thing it was going to do was just grab on to one of the fisherman's legs. Uh, and it was like suction cupped on there, just like hanging on for dear life. And so we had to spend a very good while just like prying this octopus off of his leg.
I'm surprised you wouldn't just like have him go dip his leg in the water or something. And
Well, this is big ass boat, so like getting into the water would be more difficult than.
it's just you just push him, Josh. It's
Yeah.
pretty easy.
Yeah, that's when the rest of the octopus get him. But yeah, we eventually.
Swarming the boat.
Yeah, we eventually were able to like pry it off, and then there was like those little drain holes that they have for water on boats so that they don't collect water on the deck. It was like whoop right through one of those, and we never saw it again. But I don't know, they're so cool. I
have
might
heard
have
they
a.
can slip through like really crazy things. They just like their bodies. They can bring them down. It's crazy.
Yep, yeah, and so like they can fit through like a quarters width of holes and things. Also, there was a story. This was the last one, then I'll quit talking about octopus. Where somehow in a research facility, a female octopus was impregnated, but there was no male octopi in the tank, and they had no idea how it got pregnant until they set up cameras. And what had happened
A
was.
research assistant got fired real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw this on an episode of The Boys.
I have not watched The Boys yet.
With the
but,
deep.
Uh, the tank with the male octopus in it had a twist on cap, and what the octopus would do is they would latch onto the top of the cap and then spin it the opposite direction to undo the lid, climb out and get into the female octopus's tank, and then after did the dirty, then it would go back to its tank and then reseal the cap so that the researchers did not realize that it had escaped.
That's some crazy thinking. Like that's like clearly you're thinking about what you're doing.
Yeah, like clearly you are smarter than like the average animal, because there's a lot of animals I could not imagine trying to open a cap of anything. But
Well, not even just opening it to like get out, but then like coming
to
back and then consciously putting it back,
and then being
like
able to reseal it.
concealing the
Yeah,
evidence. Yeah, like that's the interesting part about it.
yeah.
So
So really
bringing
good.
it back full circle to video games, quick. I just went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. A Dark Souls game has never been nominated for Game of the Year at Video Game Awards.
Really.
How fucking crazy is that? That's weird.
It
I'm
probably is
surprised
too hard for people.
Bloodborne hasn't, but Dark
Bloodborne
Souls
has.
doesn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. The other Dark Souls, it seems a little more niche, and I can understand how it would. Like, it's super good and it has a great cult following, and like everyone has heard of the Souls things, but
So
I
what's
can
crazy is
understand it's never gotten Game of the Year.
Dark
But
Souls.
Bloodborne, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
Dark Souls 3 came out in 2016. Game of the Year
Damn.
award nominees: Uncharted 4, Titanfall 2, Inside, Doom, and then the game that won Game of the Year was Overwatch. Dark
Hmm.
Souls 3 not on the
That
list. That's
seems like a
crazy.
shit year.
Right? That's Overwatch wins Game of the Year. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's wild. Anyway,
That's
When
so
Overwatch
long
came
ago.
out, it was like
2016. Jesus.
wild. But yeah, they've had Bloodborne and Sekiro nominated, and Sekiro won. So, but that's it.
Hmm.
Crazy.
they keep stepping it up. I think they're gonna win again with Elden Ring.
I think they are too. I agree.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Listener questions. Pistol P wrote in.
Pistol
What up?
Pete. Pew 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 pew. I like
What
how
up, Pete?
Ryan actually had finger guns. He's like pew pew pew.
I don't have to worry about hosting. I'll do what I want.
You were
Like you couldn't do finger guns while you're
Yeah,
hosting.
right.
Sorry, I can't.
chew gum and walk at
So-
the same time.
Somebody's got to keep this train on the tracks, boys.
Sure as hell ain't me. He says, "Hey guys, happy Halloween." That really shows how long
Yeah.
since
It's been
this
a
was
while.
written.
It's been a little while.
If Jason,
Like-
Freddy Krueger, Chucky, and the Leprechaun were coming to kill you, what video game character would you want protecting you? Justin, go ahead.
Kirby.
Yeah, it's the perfect answer.
That is the perfect answer.
And the best thing is I had that before I saw your hat.
Oh, really? Nice.
My my too obvious answer was Kratos. Even though I never played it, he just, from everything I've heard, sounds like he'd be a good contender to be fighting for you. And then another fun answer was, since I've been playing it, but Bayek, the assassin from Origins.
Oh, there you go.
Mhm.
There you go.
But I mean, I don't know if any of these things can actually die. So Kirby would just eat them.
Apparently, Jason does die in the new one, I guess.
It depends on the movie.
One
Yeah,
of the most recent, I think, is what he's saying.
Yeah, the most
but
recent, the
He'll
one
come
that
back
just-
in another one.
because like the
I-
original Jason, it wasn't even Jason. It was Jason's mother. Like,
Right.
it didn't exist. So like, it depends
Right.
which Jason we're talking about here. And like, I mean, Chucky, like, the soul could just leave that doll and go to another doll, I guess. But it depends on which Chucky we're talking
But-
about too.
Could the soul leave Kirby's stomach?
I feel like if Super Smash Bros. Is canon, then yes. Because like once Kirby takes some of their power, then they get ejected. So
That's a sentence I never thought I'd hear. If Super Smash Bros. Is canon.
yeah. Which we know it's not, because of the storyline from Super Smash Bros. But
So at the very least, he could eat them and hold them for a while and let you
Until you get
move
away.
and get away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you're just constantly living.
He goes to a
looking over
desert.
your shoulder.
then again, Freddy Krueger like travels through dreams. So like,
Mhm.
can you even flee from Freddy Krueger? Like, would he exist in Kirby at all? I don't think so. Freddy's a complicated one.
He's the fascinating one.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a physical thing going with him. Well, my answer was I would want the Phantom Thieves with me from
There you
Persona
go.
because they would go into the hearts of all of these bad guys and like steal their hearts, and they wouldn't be bad guys anymore somehow magically.
Damn good choice. Damn good choice. Freddy Krueger is a good guy.
Well, but he just he'd be at peace
He just
and
shut
somehow,
down.
and he just like would he wouldn't be in nightmares anymore and all
Yeah.
the rest of them, I guess. But the only
Yeah,
problem
good.
with them is they take like months to do their thing. Like it's not just like one night that they can fix all these guys. It's like, oh, we're gonna plan out like months because they have to go to school and
Right.
like do activities and other things. So that's the only problem with the Phantom Thieves. They're not really quick.
Right.
So if your life depends on it, they're probably not the best. But
Probably not.
if you get ahead of the game, then yeah, call them up.
There you go. I like it. I picked Doom Guy. Like all these people coming at you, and he just pulls out the BFG, and it's game over. So Jason's not coming back from that. I'm sorry. Um, I have a hard time believing he would survive the BFG. But yeah, Doom Guy. Doom Guy's a safe bet. So
Doom Guy was one of my picks as well. I also said since most of these are ghosts of people, so like Jason, Freddy, and Chucky are all like souls reincarnate. Luigi with the like
yes,
the
That's a good
Gus
one.
I
like
like it.
vacuum thing. I forget what that's called, but
His vacuum cleaner. Let's be real.
yeah, that's what it is.
It's a Hoover.
Yeah, would be sweet. And honestly, if you've watched the Leprechaun movies, just don't steal his gold, and you're fine.
Yeah,
Like
right.
every
Yeah.
time people are just like greedy, and it's like the Leprechaun will not kill you if you're not an asshole. Like don't steal his shit, and you're fine. So I just would not steal the Leprechaun's gold and hope for the best. Leon Kennedy was also on the list because he deals with a lot of spooky supernatural shit, and he just shoots it in the face until it quits coming after him. So like he'd be dope as well.
There you go.
My runner-up, but it doesn't really count because I don't think he's a video game. But after watching Dream,
What you want?
Dream the Minecraft speedrunner is
No. Who's got that?
Oh,
I don't know.
Sandman. I'm assuming he's talking about
Oh,
Sandman.
oh
Dream.
yeah, got it,
Yeah.
got it.
because he is
Dream
in
could
charge of
probably
all of
fuck
them.
him up. Well, at least definitely Freddy Krueger. I feel like Dream would beat Freddy Krueger. He's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you're trying to use dreams? Oh, I invented this shit, bitch!" And like kills him
Best of
instantly.
luck, bitch.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Dream made the original Nightmares, so like he probably
So
made Freddy.
Freddy, he would essentially have made Freddy.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're one of my creations," and just like takes him away.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
that
googled the question, and one other person said Jean Grey could destroy the whole dream world of Freddy Krueger.
That's fair.
Hmm.
Or Wanda Maximoff too. Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch would probably do the same
She
thing.
could probably take all of them.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
especially like Jean Grey, like Phoenix level Jean Grey,
yeah.
could just like make the world not exist. You don't have to worry
Yeah.
about the bad guys because nothing exists anymore.
You can die. You can die. You can die.
Yeah.
Everybody died.
All right, Adam, probably not our Adam, but we never know. We never know.
We still don't know to this day. It could be.
It might be.
I
It
had him.
might be. I'm looking at
I
you.
had them.
What about him? Is that if you went trick or treating and all you got were almond joys, apples, and Twizzlers, how many houses would you burn down? Adam, you go first. You're our resident foodie.
I wouldn't burn any of them down, but I would definitely do the slow, weird, long con to like fuck with them mentally. like leave them an almond joy on their like doorstep every single day until like the next Halloween, and then like the last one's just like an almond joy with a knife in it or something. I don't know, something really fucked up, but no,
In,
that's so
inside the mouth
terrible.
of a severed deer head.
Yeah, like something really fucked up the last time around, but no.
Their prize racehorse
How
head.
dare they? How dare they?
Ooh, Cam said put fish under their deck.
There you go.
Let 'em
Put
get
one
snowy.
minnow under their deck every day for 365 days.
There you go.
Right
Like
when the
that.
kids left eggs in Mrs. Riggy's class.
Really?
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
you don't remember that, or
I
you
don't
already
remember that.
graduated?
That might have been after I graduated. I don't remember that.
Yeah, came back from summer vacation and her room was closed. They couldn't figure out why, and some kids put on like the last day of school a bunch of eggs in like her filing cabinets in the very
Oh
back.
no. Oh no.
I stole so many free pizzas
You
to
cut out.
fundraisers with Godfather's Pizza, and it's just like this fucking certificate, and you just hand it to Godfather's, and they give you a free pizza. That's all it is. And she kept them in her office, and I stole. I don't even know how many. We had free pizza for months. It was unreal.
You know this podcast is recorded, right?
Yeah, whatever.
It's
Statute of
statute of
limitations.
limitations at this
Yep.
point. Yeah.
We're safe.
Nice.
Oh shit. All right. Anyway, sorry.
What
Trick
do
or
you we
treating.
got? Yeah, Rad. What do you got?
I'd burn down the whole neighborhood because that's awful, and it would just be like the Charlie Brown Christmas where he's got his head down with the sad music playing as he's walking by. That would be me with my bag full of this non-candy, and then I would turn into the Joker and I would just end everybody. Because first of all, people actually do that, like, and they are proud of it that they hand out like apple slices and they brag about it. It's like vegans, like they're not going to shut the fuck up about it, and they brag about handing out apple slices at Halloween because it's a healthier option. And I'm just like, go fuck yourself. You're the worst. Everyone on your block hates you. Everyone. Like, those people, those kind of people drive me insane. So I would burn down the entire neighborhood if that were the case. That's my answer.
Nice.
Ryan fills his candy bag with those apples and just knocks on the door and just starts beating people prison style with them.
Yeah, right. Like
It's
soap
just
in
a
the
tube
sock.
tube sock full of apples. Nice.
Oh,
Justin,
jeez.
what do you got?
I mean, wouldn't be super happy, but I'd eat the almond joys and Twizzlers. I don't know how many apples I could eat before they'd go bad, but again, candy
Freeze free.
agnostic.
That's a much nicer answer. No beating required.
I mean, I would definitely pick a new neighborhood next year.
Go to the rich
across town.
neighborhoods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you have the audacity to not even give us red vines. You did Twizzlers, you cheap motherfucker. I don't know. I'm over it. We're moving on. Halloween's over. And I'm too
So,
old to trick or treat.
so for me, it depends on the apple. If they're like Honey
Of course
Crisp,
it does. Of
He's
course
like
it
some
does.
pink ladies. Let's go.
yeah, like a Honey Crisp, a Sweet Tango, like a good apple. I'll eat the shit out of that. I love
Granny
apples.
Smith.
He's like, here's a red delicious, and he's
Granny Smiths are fine. I enjoy them. Don't go out of my way to buy them, but I would take one for free. If it is specifically a red delicious apple, then my answer is 104,616.
Jesus. That's specific.
The reason that is the census for the number of households in the Cedar Rapids metro area last time that it was pulled, minus one house because I live there and I'm not going to burn my own house down. So 104,616. Granted, there's probably been some houses since this census, so give or take, but
plus or minus 100 or so.
Yeah, but that's my answer. Even if they
But-
even if I didn't go to those houses, like they deserve it.
Josh, don't you?
You keep cutting out, Ryan.
Yeah, you cut out.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, don't you feel like you would need to burn down your own house? Like, cause otherwise they're coming. They kind of probably have an idea of who did it.
No.
I feel like the like just sheer destruction on such a high level, like they're gonna be like, wow, this guy really lucked out. You know, like because I've just been like, mid-November, just watering all the bushes and grass and my lawn, and just happened to spray the roof a little bit, keep everything moist, and my house didn't light on fire.
Some would
November
count.
or October?
I said November, but like, because you got to plan. You know how long it's gonna take to light 104,000 houses
You know how
on
much
fire?
fuel
You
you're
started
gonna
a
need?
year ago. Super long con.
No, because I mean, like, because October 31st, is when I'm getting the shitty apples, and then it's gonna take me a couple days, 10, 15 days to light all these houses on fire. And also, I don't know if this is entrapment, Adam, but if there's large fires, it was not me. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never
Right.
even met a fire. We've
I
never
never
we've never
stole any
met.
pizza coupons.
Yeah, not at all. All right, pick of the week. Go ahead and get your God of War out of the way, Ryan.
My pick of the week's not God of the Works. I haven't beaten it yet.
Shocking.
So once I beat it, it'll be on there.
Elden Ring was your pick of the week before you beat
That's
it. Like I
true.
don't know what you're
That's
talking
true.
about.
But I have a different pick of the week too. So comedy special on Netflix. Bill Burr live at the Red Rocks. Unbelievably funny. Like
I
piss your
had a
pants
coworker
funny.
tell me about that.
Very
love
good.
Bill Burr.
Very, very. I love Bill Burr. I've always loved Bill Burr. His show F is for Family on Netflix is fucking hilarious. If you haven't seen it, um, it's got Justin Long's in it. He plays one of the kids. But anyways, that show's really funny. But yeah, Bill Burr live at the Red Rocks comedy special. He's like my favorite comedian right now, dude. He's so fucking funny. I mean, he hits on a lot of topics. If you're a little bitch who gets triggered, I wouldn't probably watch it. But he goes after everybody. That's the best part. Is he doesn't give a fuck who you are. He goes after everybody. So, but yeah, check it out. I feel like comedy specials. Check
Is there
that
any
one out.
Baker jokes?
There's no Baker jokes. So I
But he
guess
doesn't go after
everybody.
everyone.
Yeah, right.
I
But yeah,
love
that's
how dark
fine.
his humor is. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
fucking good. So
Have you
dumb.
seen Red Rocks yet?
I haven't seen that one. No,
Okay.
I've seen a couple clips, but I haven't seen the whole thing yet. But
So what's crazy is my buddy from work, Tim. I was telling him about it. I'm like, oh my god, you got to watch this, and he's like, oh, I was there. And I was like, what? He's like, I was at the taping. I'm like, are you for real? He's like, yeah, totally by accident. They recorded it the day before. He is a diehard Minnesota Gophers fan, season ticket holder. And they went to the Gopher Colorado game, which was the first game of the year. They drove to Colorado. And they went to the game, and his uncle was like, I've never seen Red Rocks. I don't care who's there. If it's some folk band, I don't give a fuck. We're going to Red Rocks. It just happened to be Bill Burr, and he was at that taping. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. That's
Red
pretty
Rocks
sweet.
is fucking beautiful. So if you
I
ever
bet
get a
it is.
chance, like
Yeah.
I saw Beats Antique there a few years ago,
Nice.
and it so fucking good. I've been there twice now,
Nice.
but it is the like my favorite venue I've ever been to in any location, just purely scenery. It's so beautiful. But
Sweet. Cool. All right, that's mine.
you want to go, Adam?
Grounded. Now that we got all the way through it, that's so good. I mean, so good. I kept playing even after we beat it.
Sweet.
That's it. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Go play it. Survival game. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Mine is also grounded.
Nice.
And I have to say
Yep.
that one of the biggest reasons that it gets the pick of the week, and I hope every single survival and any sort of game that comes out with any, I mean, it'd probably work best for survivals, but the way that they did their save files
Yeah.
and the fact that, like, I started the world, but then they released a patch that you could then share the save. And so it hosted on their servers, and then anyone that we shared it with could then host the game and play without the normal host being there.
That's
So if
nice.
Adam wanted to play, if I
It's
wasn't
amazing.
on, he could, and vice versa. And it was the same persistent world. It's just a much needed feature, and I think that every upcoming game that's a survival game needs to have that feature. There's zero reason now why every single game that comes out shouldn't have this feature.
The bar has been set.
It has, and honestly,
It was
pretty
so.
much
It's such a great feature. It's amazing.
that the world progression of the game, they really, like, there were parts where it took Adam and I time to figure out what the hell we should be doing, but for the most part it was relatively obvious just from the progression of what you had and what you were able to kill. So you could kind of tell if you were in the wrong spot and you are missing something, if you couldn't do a certain feature and like you needed the different levels of axes or shovels or whatever to get the resources to get on, you know what I mean? But the game was just like, could almost even be classified as a horror game because I can't even
For
tell
some
you,
people.
dude, I can't tell you how many times I was playing and like a spider or something jumped out of me when I wasn't expecting it, and I literally pushed my like keyboard and mouse away and like spun and threw a weapon on accident just out of straight fear. Like a lot of times it jump scared me, and it's not a jump scare game.
Yeah.
The environment was awesome, unique, characters were fun, the voice lines were fun. If you like survival games, Grounded is
It's
A plus.
amazing. Yeah.
And it's
It's
Game
so
Pass,
good.
right?
Yeah.
Game Pass.
There you go. Yeah, 'cause it's Obsidian, so
We were even joking we were gonna invite you, Ryan, like if we didn't get the last, without like any spoilers, there's like a last thing to beat the game. If we didn't get it on our second time, we're like, we need to recruit people. We're gonna invite Ryan and just give him like all this good gear and weapons and stuff, and here, just come kill stuff with us to
there you
like
go.
beat the game.
Nice.
Nice.
So you didn't have to do any building or
There you
anything.
go. I'd have been down.
I mean, a lot of times Adam didn't even do. I mean, he helped me build and gather and stuff, but there were times where I would be building for an hour or two and he was just out killing and collecting stuff. So I don't know. You don't really need a huge base to have a good time in that game.
Yeah.
You definitely don't. Like I'm like the solo game I'm playing right now. Like my whole base is pretty much done in like a 3x3 square, and like that's everything that I'm keeping, and I managed to have all the crafting and scrape by.
There you go.
Nice. Anything else?
Yep. That was my pick of the week. What about you,
Solid.
Josh?
So I mentioned I played a board game. I started Oathsworn. Um, so
That's the one that you got the stupid amount of boxes for.
yeah, you can't see it, but this like 3 feet tall. That doesn't even include the main game. There's more to it than even that. So there's 2 phases. So if you think of like Kingdom Death Monster, there's like the boss fight, and there's the settlement phase where you craft gear and do shit like that. This also is split into 2 phases. So the first one is like the story phase, and it's like a choose your own adventure type, make decisions, and that will affect the outcome, which will either help or hinder you once you get closer and closer to the boss. And so far, the story's been really, really good. But then there's the boss battle. And it's hard. It's a very hard game. The rules are easy to understand, but it's like crushingly hard. So I fought um the Brood Mother, which I unfortunately did not think about getting out of the box to show you what it looks like. But imagine just a giant rat covered in a bunch of smaller rats, um, and uh, lost, unfortunately. But it is a very, very good game. Like I can tell, like early on, that if it continues at this pace, if it continues being super good, um, it'll be one of the best games I've played tabletop
Wow.
wise.
Damn, man, you
Um,
played a lot of games.
so it so far I've only completed the first story, and fought the first boss. So there's still plenty of content that I have not. But if it continues at this pace, I'm super looking forward to it. Um, and one thing that's interesting, really quick, about combat is there's like a push your luck type scenario where you get a certain amount of dice with your gear, but then you also get to choose up to 10 additional dice that you can just choose. But if you get two blanks, you just fail the attack.
Really?
So, like, the more dice you roll, the more damage you can do, but also you have some bad luck. But also, instead of choosing the dice, you can choose cards that have a set number, 0 to 3 in them. And so you can choose, let's say you've already used all of the high value cards, and in the remaining 5 cards there's a couple of zeros, then you can choose to switch from the cards to the dice or from the dice to the cards to adjust your luck. Um, and just a very interesting gameplay mechanic. Combat is a little interesting, so you have to, when you use skills or spells, then they go into spell slots, and then you have to use other spells that use that slot to move them farther and farther down the chain until they restore. So you have to like try to choose your skills in the correct order, even if they're not the most efficient for damage. Um, it'll be a game that it'll take a really long time to learn what like the most efficient thing is. So just really looking forward to playing some more of it and getting further in the
Since you
campaign.
and Tyler
Ty,
started it,
yeah.
would it be hard to, like, if I came over to play, would you be able to add to it?
So you can swap in and out characters at will. So we're playing 4 full characters right now. So you could just control one of them. Or if we decided that was too much work, then there's like companions, which are simplified versions of characters. We could do like each of us had one character, but we had a companion for the fourth, which has its own easier mechanics and things like that. And then let's say, like, you know, you came over, we played something, and then Tyler couldn't come the next week. Then we can swap out his character with like another character. Um, the way that it works is each chapter is their level. So if you're on chapter 5, your characters are on level 5. You have the level 5 gear. You just get better as the story progresses. And so you can easily just swap in and out characters at will. Um, so um, we probably wouldn't do the story phase again because we already know that, right? But like right now, we need to still beat that boss. It says you can just continue if you lose against the boss if you're playing kind of easier modes, but that's some old bullshit. You should actually have to beat the boss. So we're just gonna try the boss again and then mark on our score sheet that we lost the first time. But
How long did it take you guys to play what you did?
Probably 3 or 4 hours. And the reason, kind of like Rivals, had we known how to play, it probably would have been 45 minutes story phase and combat phase. But
Josh
You're
is
cutting
cutting
out.
out.
no.
Oh boy.
Can you hear me now? No. Take that as a nope.
You're cutting out
Lame.
hard. Oh, now you're back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Really quick. Had we known the rules, I think the
Find a
story.
way.
I think the story would take 45 minutes, and then the combat would take 45 minutes to an hour. But because we were learning it and still looking up rules and still trying to figure out what we wanted to do, it took significantly longer.
That makes sense.